pushing record, and here's Matt. Have fun.
All right. Let me make sure I get this screen going right. All right. Does everybody see the PowerPoint? Cool. And I'm glad I got some head nods since you're muted. Get this into full screen. Okay, so just to kind of start off, I know most of you, a couple of you I don't know. I can assure you I know of you. I'm Carrie's husband, for those that don't know. I'm a diamond coach with Beachbody. I'm not a technically active coach, but I am relatively active kind of behind the scenes with Carrie, helping her with the business side of her Beachbody. And so I've been kind of the one that's dived into some of the rules and the kind of the specifics around Beachbody. So she kind of thought it might make sense to have me talk to this team rather than her try to kind of pass it back and forth. So here we go. As you see the title, I called it AK Everything You Wanted to Ask But Don't Want to Ask, because I know I hear these questions all the time. So I kind of restated the questions and kind of just threw up a bunch of questions that I hear all the time. I've asked, Carrie's asked, I've heard all of her coaches ask at one point or another. What's a weak leg? What's a strong leg? Am I screwed because of where I'm sitting? Did I put somebody in the wrong place? Did I ruin my business? What's the difference between TV and PV points? What are cycle bonuses? Why Success Club? And how do I actually get paid? So I'm going to go through all of these things kind of in a couple of different ways. And I'm going to run through them. I talk kind of fast. I have a lot of information to cover, actually, because these 4 or 5 questions generate quite a bit of information. I'm going to try to keep this to 30 minutes so that there's some time for some back and forth when we're done. So if you have a couple of questions, jot them down. I'm going to fly through this, and then I'll unmute the system, and then we can kind of talk through them, and we'll go through them. And I know a couple of you, Tara, I know you had one specific question that I didn't get into the slide deck, but I'll be able to talk to it when we get to that point. So I'm going to start with Success Club. So why participate in Success Club? Oh, real quick, I cover at the end, just from a point of full disclosure and transparency. I stole shamelessly from the Beachbody website, so I did a lot of screenshotting and screen grabbing. So you're going to see some different formats and whatnot. I'm a little bit of a freak about PowerPoint and keeping things clean, but I wanted to keep some of this information the way it was presented from Beachbody. So if you go looking for this, and I'm going to give y'all some of the links in this deck, you can find the exact videos that I screen grabbed. So the primary reasons for Success Club, and kind of from left to right, you get product leads. And for those that are trying to build a business, getting leads is kind of a huge thing. And anytime someone's going to give you leads for free, it's kind of hard to thumb your nose at that concept. So that's kind of one of the most important reasons to participate in Success Club. From a business growth perspective, I actually quoted Michael Hill a little bit later, I think in the next slide. But Success Club basically models the behaviors that you need to do to be successful with your business. So it encourages and rewards the things that are going to make you more successful. So there's really not a good reason to not do it. Everything you should do should actually be focused around Success Club. So then moving on to the right-hand side, rewards and recognitions. Some of this stuff, different people are motivated differently. And we can talk about individual motivations and high-value rewards and those kinds of things. Some people live for the limelight, to be up on stage, to have their name in lights. Success Club is the way to do that for sure. The Elite 10, the top coaches, top 10 coaches, they all started their business through Success Club. And then there's Elite and Premier. I can tell you personally, for those that have been to Summit, all of you that have braved the core, I know you all noticed the little extra line that says Elite and Premier off to the side. That for me would be enough reason to go for Elite, right? I mean, I get to shortcut all the lines. Like I used to be a high travel guy in the business world, and it was all about, how can you shortcut any line? Can I get through security quicker? Can I get on the airplane quicker? And Elite and Premier is the same thing, really. And then there's the bonuses, and then there's the trips. So last year, there was a Beachbody cruise, the SS Beachbody that happened. Carrie took me, we went, it was a great time. You only get on that trip by being in Success Club, and you only get off the wait list and whatnot through different Success Club mechanisms. And then more importantly, the trip was paid, our trip was paid through Beachbody matching dollar for dollar Success Club points. So they do a promotion, you sign up, you get in it. They're doing it right now for next year at Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. But you actually get monetary, well, in kind value for Success Club behavior. So, it's kind of one of those things where you should be doing it, you get paid for doing it, and then you get rewarded for doing it. So why would you not do it? And back to those individual rewards and recognitions, Megan, didn't make the call, but Megan hit Success Club for the first 3 months in her career at Beachbody, and she got a free ticket for next year's summit. And so that's a full price ticket, $247 in value that she's getting for next year. So there's a real dollar value kind of benefit to being in Success Club. So enough on why you should. What is Success Club for those that don't know? There's 2 ways to generate Success Club points, and this chart's a little busy, but I'll explain it. But basically, if you're selling product to a new customer or a new coach, and that's why there's the blue and the white here, you get 2 Success Club points for every challenge pack that you sell within that coach's first 31 days of sign up, and then you get 1 Success Club point for an HD order. Now there's little asterisks off beside the 1 and the 2, and I cut the bottom of the chart, but it does say that you can only get 2 points once. If a person signs up for 2 challenge packs, you don't generate 4 Success Club points. You only get the 2 points, and same with the HD order. You only get 1 point for the HD order. If they sign up for 2 different flavors, you don't get double points for that. So why does Success Club matter to me? We talked about this, but here it is in words in case the little colored bullets weren't good for you. Success Club, and I'm going to read this one sentence. I think it's important. It's primarily focused on tracking and encouraging the core business building activities to make you successful. I can't say that enough times. I don't think anybody in the Beachbody leadership team says it enough times, that it's what makes you successful. It's a way to track it. It's a way to hold yourself accountable, to hold your teammates accountable, your peers accountable, and to see your organization grow. And that's why we have the cup. I know, Terry, you're just signed up. Mitchie, I think you're signed up, but I can't see everybody else that's on the call because of the way this. Tressy's here. Tressy, you're signed up. Carrie just tells me. So those cups, I mean, that's really what that is. Beachbody, the Team Beachbody Cup is about kickstarting the behavior. It's about giving you a really good, strong, motivating reason to say, hey, let me grab 3-4 of my partners in crime and let's go out there and let's just set the world on fire and really do Success Club. We talked about the prizes, values, and then the lead programs. So there's customer leads, there's Success Club leads, and there's coach connections. And what those are, there's three graduated levels here on this slide of things that Beachbody gives you. And it's the quality of the leads and the type of business leads they give you. And here I have the requirements off to the left. And most of them are pretty simple. Everybody here it's paid Emerald rank. I believe everybody on the call is paid Emerald. We have a couple that aren't. Okay, so there's a couple.
I'm sorry, there's coaches.
There's a couple of coaches that haven't made Emerald yet. Okay, so there's a reason for you to make Emerald. Make Emerald, and Beachbody starts giving you, and Beachbody gives you leads. You have to obviously have an active account, complete your bio, and be current on your fees, and not have been bad not paying your fees for 6 months. And then importantly, hit Success Club 5 or higher. And to do that, you have to have 90 PV points and you have to be on HD auto ship. That's a little, it's kind of a little, it's apparently for some people that, they don't like being on the HD, and that's a lot of pushback. And I think a lot of our customers and maybe some of our discount coaches even have some pushback about being on HD, but it is a requirement for Success Club. So if we're going to use this and allow it to be the value generator and the value creation tool that it is within the company, it's important to hit all these things. And obviously the last one for a coach connection, you have to be a diamond. And there's some additional requirements in the policies and procedures manual that I won't get into, because when we get there, we can jump off that bridge, right? So a little bit more about Success Clubs. Let's talk about it in dollars terms. That's part of why Carrie always comes to me, is I like to look at things in terms of financials versus the touchy-feelies. I don't really care about my name being up on a board or Carrie's name bluntly. It makes her happy, so I want her to, But really what I want her to do is make a lot of money and maximize her earning potential. So what's on this chart here, this is a 4-month stepping stone, assuming that you sell, I want to say this one was for Insanity. That's what CP stands for, Challenge Pack, and that was for Insanity. And then the 1 HD was for a Shakeology HD order. So this is just assuming that for 4 straight months, you make Success Club 5 by selling 2 challenge packs and 1 order of Shakeology HD. So what's in blue is they highlighted it this way. That's your real-time money that you get for commission for your week in, week out commission sales, right? So every month you're going to make $132.49 for commissions for 4 months in a row. But when you look at the residuals that you get for having customers, you continue to make residuals on those HD deliveries. So obviously we know that challenge packs come with an HD order, and then the HD orders that stand alone would be on their own. But what's neat to look at here is your first month you have no residuals because you just started. In month 2 you make $97.47 in residuals, but then in month 3 you're doubling because you've added. You now have 6 Shakeology HD recurring orders, and then in month 4 you have 9. So you see your money starts to step, and it continues to grow off to the right. Now, this can't turn into a be-all, end-all about the comp plan. There's some nuances around converting customers to coaches and the way you get residuals, and it's different once they become a coach versus when they're a customer and all of that. And if we need to have maybe once a month do a kind of a deep dive in one of the specific areas, we can do that. Maybe we should. I'll leave that to you and Carrie, you all and Carrie to figure out. But this kind of shows you, as you continue to play the game, right? To play the Success Club game, now you're not just going to earn $132 in a month. In that first quarter, you're going to earn, what is it, 5, 6, I had it written down as $700 and something. And then it continues to go up. If anybody's a spreadsheet junkie, you could throw this out and kind of do some fun with numbers and say, what if I did this for a year? What if I did it for 2 years? What would my residuals look like? And you're going to have some attrition in there, and you have to figure that out with how your client bases work. But, top line math, you can be at $50, $75, $100,000 in earnings just off of HD recurring commissions. And that's simply by adding 3 a month, 3 a month, 3 a month, 3 a month, and making that. And, your first goal, make, Success Club 5. And then I want to make Success Club 5 for 6 months. And then there's the Success Club 5 for 12 months, and you're recognized as a Success Club All-Star. 24 months, a Success Club Legend or Legacy. I forget which of the L words they use. But clearly those people that are doing that are getting substantial financial benefit from their activities. And we can talk about it in different ways. It means they're able to reach more people. It means they're broadening their base of their influence. But however you want to look at it, Success Club is the tool that we use here to kind of manage and monitor our behaviors. So jumping into compensation. Again, stole these directly from Beachbody. I'm unashamed to take things that are in the legal domain, public domain. There's 4 primary ways to be paid. The first is challenge packs, bonuses, and commissions. It's not a surprise that I already talked about that in Success Club, and now we're going to talk about it a little bit more. It's the same stuff, right? You get 25% on all retail purchases that are made through you. You make between $40 to $105 on challenge packs. Just depends on the challenge pack, the bonuses that are working, and what kind of deals are going on. And then for Beachbody Club members, you get 15%, not 25% once they convert. And that's kind of part of the difference. And then with team volume and personal volume. The second one, and bear with me, this is one very busy slide, but the second way to be paid is through team cycle bonuses. And I'm going to do a full kind of deep dive on that. So I know Tara, just hang tight, and I'll get to you in just a second. But that's the second way to be paid. The third way is matching bonuses. Now, what matching bonuses are is when someone on your team below you cycles, you get 10% of their cycle if you're a diamond or above. So imagine, if you will, I don't know, somebody like, I don't know, maybe named Lauren, that has, this gigantic organization below her, and she has, at some point she was a 15-star diamond, so she has at least 15 diamonds below her at any given point in time, some 2 and 3 stars, and a lot of emeralds and rubies. that are all out there earning, they're all cycling. Well, every time one of them cycles, she gets a cycle bonus also. She gets 10%. But when she has more than 10, that 10% becomes equal to a full cycle bonus. So if she has 20 people cycling and she gets 10%, that's like her cycling 2 more times on top of her cycle. So I'll get more into cycle bonuses. And then the last primary way to be paid is through the Star Diamond bonus plan. Star Diamond bonus plan is kind of neat. Without getting into strange math, the percentages that you see, those weird numbers, what that is it's half of a percentage point of actual Beachbody sales revenue for that period. So Star Diamond bonuses are paid quarterly. To be eligible, you have to be starting at 2-star diamond for an entire quarter. So from January, February, and March. So starting January 1st through the end of March, if you're a 2-star, you will qualify for the Star Diamond bonus in that quarter. And what Beachbody does is they go back and they cut up their own money and they say, how much did we sell? How much did we bring in as a company? And then half of 1% goes into this bonus pool. And then it's spread across all of the 2-stars and higher in the company. And then they do the same thing at 5-star, at 10-star, and 15-star. Now, the payouts they change because it's based on the actual income, but they've kind of done the breakdowns, and it tends to be somewhere around $1,000 for 2-star, $2,000 to $3,000 for 5-star, roughly. I want to say it was $7,000 or $8,000 for 10-star, and then $10-ish thousand for 15-star diamonds. The really neat thing with Beachbody is that the financial term is accretive, but if you qualify for, say, a 10-star diamond bonus, you also get the 5-star diamond and you get the 2-star diamond. So you don't just get the one, you get all. So if it was 10, 5, and 2, you would get 17 grand, not just 10,000, because you qualified for all of those bonus pools. So you get your piece of all of those pools as they're spread across the company. So if there's no other reason to get to 2-star, it's definitely to qualify for the Star Diamond bonus plan. So that's the 4 basic components at a high level. So now I'm going to get, as I promised, into the team cycle bonuses. Now, this is very busy. I watched is it Michael Hill? I wrote down his last name. I can't remember if that's his last name or not. Bald, crazy talking guy. Anyway, Michael does a very highly produced video on the Team Beachbody page, and I put the link right here. It's in yellow in the bottom, and if you click that, that should take you right to his video. So feel free to go watch it also. He uses little toys, and he kind of slides them around the table, and he's Michael. You guys have seen him talk and heard him enough times. But it's very simple, actually. So they use a term called a 300 balanced TV points. Okay, so think about your business and your 2 sides of your business. You have a left leg and a right leg, and we'll talk about leg composition immediately after this. I'm trying to have a purposeful build here. But imagine your business on 2 sides. You have half of your people on one side and half on another. Everything that's sold generates PV and TV points, and those TV points roll up through the organization. Now, the neat thing is they roll all the way up. I think it's 6 levels that TV points can travel through a business. So they don't stop at just your personally sponsored coaches. So a coach has a diamond under them or an emerald under them, and that emerald sells underneath them, and all of those TV points will run up through that same leg into that coach. Now, what's a cycle? Anytime that you have combined 300 points across both legs, and of those 300 points, you have 200 in one leg and 100 in another leg, a cycle will happen. The cycles happen automatically every day in the Beachbody back office. And they will continue to happen until you no longer have enough points for a cycle in that day. And then those points will carry over for that day to the next week. They don't carry over to the next day. Those points carry, and then they push. And then as your sales happen, because everybody's sales happen on different days of the month depending on when their HD orders are. So you might get a lot of your sales on the 2nd and the 3rd. If you're a go-getter of a Success Club person, you make Success Club 5 and 10 every month in the first half of the month. Maybe all of your purchases happen in the first half. Or if you're that person that gets your Success Club at the last minute, maybe all your sales are going to happen in the second half of the month. But regardless, when those points generate and as they roll up, cycles will occur. As they occur, the points are deducted off both legs. And then if there's enough points for another cycle, a second cycle will occur. And the cycles will continue to happen until there's no longer 300 balanced TV points in both of your legs. So here's a kind of a picture, and this is out of the Policy and Procedures Manual. So if you look at this image here, You have an emerald coach, and they have a very unbalanced organization. And on their left leg, they have 540 points. On the right leg, they have 200 points. They have enough balanced TV for 2 cycles to occur. So if you look at the chart, the little red is the negative, the TV being taken out as the cycle happens. So you lose 200 TV on the left and 100 on the right, and that's cycle 1. Then it happens again, that's cycle 2, and this coach is then left with 140 TV on their left leg and 0 TV on the right. That 140 TV is pushed into your next week's pool, and it's ready for you to cycle next time. And then if you do more sales later today or tomorrow, you'll have more cycles happen. So I'm going to back up a step. What is a cycle worth to you? As an emerald coach, they're $14 a cycle, a ruby 16, and diamonds 18. When I first heard about cycles, I thought, wow, that's crazy. So this magical thing happens, you make all this money. And then I looked it up and I was like, 14 bucks? Okay, great, $14. Maybe once or twice a month. How big of a deal is this? Well, it's a big enough deal that Beachbody goes out of their way to create a structure that limits the amounts that you can make per business cycle per week. So if you look at, an emerald, they cap cycling at $250 a week, which is quite a few $14 cycles to make $250. And then they cap it annually as well. And they're pretty generous as you continue down into the Star Diamond ranks, and you see, Star Diamonds can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, up to $500,000 a year just in cycle bonuses. So obviously volume's important. The volume is not going to happen without actually selling product though, right? So it's great to talk about, where's this volume coming from? Where's it going? But without you selling, without the Focus on Success Club, and without your team's focus on actually getting product out to their potential clients, we won't generate this TV and you won't have it to knock out. So there's probably going to be a few more questions about that. I know I think it was Tara asked a question about what happens to points that aren't cycled. There's 2 different things that I've been able to understand so far. One's called a master cycle that occurs every 5,000 cycles. So after you've had 5,000 cycles within your business, all of the TV points that are uncycled at that point are put into a holdover account. And I'm to understand that those points can't be reclaimed without some kind of an annual event occurring. I wasn't really clear on that. I've asked Lauren for some specifics on that. I had a call with Lauren just about stranded cycle volume, and it was a little bit unclear. I'm not entirely sure she's clear. I know Lauren told me that she has stranded over 1 million TV points. And I think last time I looked, Carrie had 60,000 or 100,000 TV points that were stranded that we just didn't have enough volume to break off of the other side. So it happens, and it has to do with your legs becoming too imbalanced. And that goes back to leg placements and who should I put where, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So team volume and personal volume, again, I snatched these right out of the policy and procedures manual just to be real clear on which was which, because I actually kept getting them confused. I kept just hearing volume. For a long time I heard, well, when your volume is this and your volume's that, and I'm like, well, is it team volume or personal volume, and what's the difference? I'm not going to read these gigantic long sentences, but basically, simply put, TV is personal volume that moves up through the chain, and PV is just yours that you generate either by making personal purchases or by selling directly. Those 2 generate PV. Everything else is TV that comes up through the organization. All right, weak leg, strong leg. So relative to cycle bonuses and volume is we have weak legs and strong legs. What is the difference between a weak leg and a strong leg? Well, on an average situation, your strong leg is the leg that you're attached to of your coach. So if you sit on your coach's right leg, then your right leg is most likely going to be your strong leg. If you're on your upline coach's left leg, your left leg is probably going to be your stronger leg. You think of it as just if you go back to that picture I showed earlier of the cycle bonus description, all of Beachbody just goes down in a constant upside down V, basically. So the reason that your strong leg is the leg that your upline coach is on is typically because as you are put into an organization, Legs are chronological. So, Mitchie, the day you joined and where you are placed on Carrie's leg, you have coaches under you that you might not be aware of. Because after you joined, look at Carrie's organization, see where Mitchie is. Yeah, so Mitchie, you have 2 coaches underneath you on Carrie's leg, and you're actually under Tara. And I'm speaking to the 2 of you because I can see your faces on the screen. I'm not picking on the 2 of you. But, all right, we have 10 minutes. Got a 10-minute warning, so I did move a little faster. But so the point of that is Mitchie, you generate volume up. So every TV point that you create rolls through Tara on its way up to Carrie. And conversely, below you, the 2 coaches that are below Mitchie, when they sell and they create TV, that flows through you and then up through Tara, up to Carrie. So that's why your 2 of you, your left leg is your strong leg. And any of you that have questions about which leg you're on with Carrie, you need to reach out to her directly and talk to her about that. If you're coach under one of the other coaches here, have that conversation. So the weak leg is simply called a weak leg because the upline coach does not put people on that side of you. So that's basically your leg, that's your responsibility on that side. Sorry about that. Now, does that mean that you're an island and that you're stranded? So if you look at my 5th bullet here, many of the top coaches, to include Lauren Duke, started in a dead leg. So if your leg placement simply says you're not getting a lot of your upline coach's strong activity, all that means is that it's your responsibility to own your own situation. It's not a bad thing necessarily, because like I said, if you were just starting out and you had 1 million points running up your other side, if you didn't generate about 500,000 points on the opposite side of your leg, you'd strand all of that volume anyway. So I don't know that it's a blessing or a curse. Is it a bonus? Sure. That's where the term power leg comes from. But not being on a power leg definitely doesn't mean that you're not able to be successful in this organization. And your legs can flip flop. And those of you that are on inside legs will probably see that happen. You'll focus on one side, trying to create a strong leg, and you'll overcreate that leg. You'll try to strengthen your weak leg and you'll overcreate it. And that's a good thing also. If you're fully balanced, that means you're always going to have a little bit of carryover. And that just means from month to month, you're going to want to swing and place opposite of that leg and then opposite of the other leg and constantly watch your carryover so that you know where your cycles are occurring. That last bullet, not my bullet, I stole some stuff from a couple of other coaches. They say to put your spouse at the top of the organization. That's absolutely right. And then her goal is what this bullet means is Success Club 10 for herself first, and then put everything else under her spouse. That way she makes her success goals, her Success Club goals, and then puts everything else under her spouse, which then allows her to double dip because that team volume rolls up through her organization. So that's part of what you want to do there. I got a 10-minute warning from this web thing while you stepped out, so I've got to speed up. So a couple of parting thoughts. Everybody knows the 80-20 rule. It applies here to coaching. 80% of your income is going to come from 20% of your coaches. And that's going to be true pretty much across all of these organizations. I think if I went through and audited Carrie's org, we'd see the same thing. So what that says is, in this instance, is these next 3 bullets are really your time split. You should be spending 80% of your time recruiting. You should be spending 80% of your time inviting, talking to new customers, new clients, new coaches. 19% of that time with your new coaches and your new customers, helping them, doing things like we're doing today, teaching, educating, leading, and 1% of your time solving problems. These weren't my bold letters. Don't chase people who fall out of rank. But the next bullet was mine. Drill where there's oil. You don't want to waste time on that coach that you're like, man, if she would just, no, she's probably not gonna. So move on. Spend your time where it makes sense. Find the people that are chasing you, that are trying to get your attention, and give them your attention. Don't try to make somebody into the coach they're not going to be. And another point I wanted to put out there, personal development doesn't have to be about books. This is kind of a pet peeve of mine. I'm actually a reader, but not everybody is. And I don't want some of the new coaches out there to think they're weird or they're not going to make it because they don't get excited to read personal development books. You don't have to read a book for it to be personal development. Anything that you do that makes you better today than you were yesterday is personal development. And they talked about it at Summit. If that means going out and getting Jennifer Mercer, she went out and got country heat certified. She doesn't intend to teach it. She just wanted to learn how to be an instructor. She wanted to know what it's like to actually go through the rigors of becoming a certified instructor, and that makes her better. That's personal development. It's a lot of personal development. Maybe giving back is how you get better. But don't focus on one specific thing and think this is the only way that I can become a better version of me. Last quick bullets. These are come a little bit of sales for you guys. I can't help it to not do this. If a person can change a little in a month, what would they do in 30 days? When you talk to your customers, try to pitch it as a 90-day sell, not a 30-day sell. That's why the challenge packs are designed to kind of get people going and keep them active. The same thing with just your HD order people. If you want your volume to go up, you need people to stay on and not have a lot of attrition. This next bullet was a neat one I read. No discount coaches. Refer 3, get yours for 3. If every coach that you sign up or every customer that you sign up went out and got 3 people, their Shakeology would be free for them. How cool would that be, right? And guess what? If they're out there bringing people in, they're being active and they're actually building the organization. They're doing the work for you. And Success Club. We talked about at the beginning. I kind of bookended this with Success Club. It's really got to be part of our DNA, part of your culture, part of, you get up every morning, you brush your teeth, you hopefully brush your hair. We hope you bathe. You should be thinking about Success Club every month and making that part of your DNA as well. I'm going to do this real quick. I put another link here to the training videos that you can get to all the training videos through one form or another through that link. My first bullet, I added very little new thought here. I stole everything. And I even, some coach named Corey Abraham, I stole a lot of these bullets out of her PowerPoint. Hey, work smarter, not harder, right? I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. The idea is to take what's out there, the coaches that know what they're doing, and kind of send this back into our teams. So I hope that helped. I'm going to unmute this, but I think I probably have no time left. How do I unmute this, Carrie? Well, I don't know how to do that. Stop share here. And then where's unmute?
I don't know where you muted that.
Maybe I did mute. Can y'all talk?
There. Tara's unmuted herself.
Oh, they unmuted themselves. Okay.
Hi, Twyla. Does anybody have any questions?
Other than, did I breathe?
Y'all look scared.
Have any? Look at Twyla. Does anybody have any questions for him? We have 3 minutes, so you're good.
I'm good. I've been lucky enough to have Matt explain this a couple times to me, so.
Well, and I've been learning as I go through it too, so I love doing this. I learned a couple of new things today, actually, so I'm happy if you guys want me to go dig into more things. Twyla, you might even know some of this stuff. If I got something wrong, I mean, feel free to let me know. But there's a lot out there, and there's actually a ton of good information in the Beachbody portal. It's just not that easy to find necessarily. So I actually took the whole day today and did this for Carrie, or for you guys really. But like I said, I learned a lot doing it. If I do a couple more of these, I think I'll be able to kind of dig into some of this information a little bit more clearly. If I didn't articulate it well, let me know. If you don't want to make fun of me on the WebEx, that's fine. Drop it in Facebook or whatever and do it that way. I take criticism pretty well. So.
Oh no, I'll totally make fun of you. I really like knowing that. I mean, I knew the difference between personal volume and team volume, but I think there's been a misconception. I know that I faced it with a couple of my coaches, that their personal volume wasn't as important as the volume beneath them. So when they didn't get their PV, their personal, they would go inactive and get frustrated with it because their team volume would be the amount of points to keep them active. But they never understood the personal volume is what's counted on to keep them active. And so that's a huge deal. And all you need is 50 PV to stay active. And of course, if you're doing it really right, 90 PV to have Shakeology Home Direct.
Well, but hang on, Tara, be careful about that, because specifically if you're dealing with men, Beachbody customers, men are a lot harder to convert to Shakeology. But men are a lot easier to get them on the, the performance lines, the stuff. And it's a lot harder to hit 90 on the performance line, or to hit 50 on the performance line. So don't discredit it only being about Shakeology. We got less than a minute. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to correct you, but I've learned this with talking with some of my male friends that are doing this, that guys aren't as Shakeology friendly as women tend to be. Anybody else?
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
What Can we get access to your PowerPoint since I'm like on a phone?
Yeah, Carrie's going to, I'm sure this is probably almost impossible for you to follow along with. Carrie's going to share this through whatever evil magic she has that she
I'll send-
shares things.
I'll send that to Teresa.
Do
Or is
what?
this- Is this Tara?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it'll be shared on our team page, dear. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
I just want the
ma'am. Thank
elliptical
you,
so I can
guys.
out of breath.
Yes, I'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time this evening. Hopefully you learned something.
Twilight.